Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by lineups.com. Nate and Josh coming here. It's still Monday night, but we're looking at this 11-game slate on Tuesday as we get out some early looks for you guys here on the slate. But we've got some best bets. We've got some sides and totals with the player props in here, so make sure you are subscribed to that channel. Coming back each and every weekday. And we got a pretty good slate here, and you've chosen to kick us off with the best game of the night. The old heads, I think, are going to enjoy this one between the Celtics and the Spurs. Plenty of defense available, but tell me why you like the Celtics to actually handle business on the road.
Well, because they're kind of like the anti-Wemby squad. They're the squad who doesn't try to get to the free throw line, doesn't try to score in the paint. They try to move you around and hunt shots and hunt matchups. And sometimes it works. I mean, so far in his career, like that has been the antidote. He's 1-3 versus Boston in terms of head-to-head, and the win this year was on a massive rest advantage. Boston on a back-to-back, San Antonio 2 days rest. And he's also 1-3 against Phoenix in the last four, or 1-3 against the Dubs in the last three, and 0-4 against Charlotte in the last four. And those are the teams basically right along with Boston that have the highest 3-point volume and the most of that kind of motion offense, along with some of the same identities and principles of defensively that Boston and Joe Maz have hung their hat on for a while, Charles Lee and Charlotte. It's just Maz is certainly going to be in his bag in terms of like the psychopath motivation, in terms of the psychopath strategies that he's going to throw at Wemby to try to get him off his game. He has done a very good job with him on that end of the floor in terms of a 103 offensive rating for Wemby in the last three against the Celtics. And Jason Tatum is back. If you have not heard, he looks very good. He looks like an all-star. It certainly adds to the 5-out potential here. The chess pieces you can move around. It certainly would soften the blow if Peyton Pritchard is not able to go here, but I think Pritchard's going to go. I think the Celtics are going to give this a full effort. I mean, they not like they take any games off here, really, but maybe we see the Spurs, show a little bit of their inexperience in this spot against the kind of championship team, just in a situation where they're not going to win every game going forward. The Spurs, they can hardly do any wrong, but I think this is the matchup that the Celtics. It's worth taking the plus money on the Celtics side.
I'm with you. I'm going to be watching this one mostly as a fan of the game, and not because I don't think there's good bets to be had on either side. I mean, I would be looking for unders, to be honest, and this total is down in a way. It's like 222.5 right now, so it's going to be really interesting. And I'm just going to sort of touch on the fact that it'll be interesting to see what happens with Tatum. That's the most interesting thing is the minutes. So let's say he is at a legit. He's played 25 minutes, played 27. Let's say he's at a legit 30-minute cap or something like that, right? Do they sort of keep him out for parts of like the second quarter so that they can play him longer in the third and fourth and make sure that if this game is close down the stretch that he's in there for crunch time? Like either way, I don't know. Joe Maz has some pretty awesome self-discipline. So I don't know if he's going to say, screw it, let's get him out there for the fourth, regardless of minutes. It's going to be interesting to me either way. And I think the game flow in the beginning is going to be sort of impactful for how those final minutes go in the rotation. But let's get to the game that has a high total on it so that I can feel pretty decent about taking the favorite with an 8.5-point spread, with the Hawks and the Mavs getting bet up. Actually opened at 233.5, already 239.5. And I still leaned to the over, mostly because I think the Hawks are going to put up close to 130 in this game. If you look at the way that these two teams have been playing, let's look at the Hawks. For me, really like the last five is really like actually the best example of what to expect in this game, because they've been playing the Wizards twice, a Denny Avdilas, a Portland Trailblazers team, also missing a couple other guys, and then Milwaukee without Giannis, and Milwaukee with Giannis for 25, and then the 76ers missing Embiid, obviously, and everybody else. But those last five have been them putting up about 129.5, 130, about basically. So I think that's another thing that we're looking for here with the Mavs, where if you look at their last five games, they're giving up 122, 120, 125, 100, and then they only give up 100 to OKC in that weird one where OKC sat pretty much everybody and it was just backup. So like this team's playing at about the fourth fastest pace for the Mavs. We know the Hawks are trying to push the pace. They've now like really just gone full blown into a very fast paced team that still hasn't really shown much on defense. I say still, like they've gotten CJ McCollum is the biggest difference, but you still think they'd be better at times with the guys that they have guarding the wings. But once you get to the rim against a squad, you can score as well. there's nobody doing that for the Mavericks. That when they're not hitting jump shots like they were against a Celtics squad that was not taking them seriously at all the other night, they're not getting anywhere near the rim. There's nobody driving to the rim. There's no assists towards the rim. They are averaging the bottom 4 in terms of field goal attempts at the rim. So you got to hit jump shots against a team that just stops you from hitting jump shots. I didn't want to take the total because I don't know if the Mavs come along for the ride, but I think the Hawks have their way on offense.
Yeah, the Hawks are humming right now, man. I mean, it's impressive to watch on offense, and if they get Kuminga out there too, that's just another weapon to throw at the Mavs. Who, yeah, they don't have much right now, and they're not super interested in playing out the string. Charlotte at Portland, and like you, I'm leaning, the favorite here and the over. I do think the over has a few more outs though, and that's where I settle here. As it gets bet down a point, I'm just like, yeah, let's take this at 228. Like Charlotte, they have a reputation for going under, but some of that has just been throttling the life out of some really bad teams recently. They did hold Portland down without Denny Avdia, but now Denny Avdia's back. That free throw rate's going up, and Charlotte is struggling to keep teams off the free throw line. So that is where I lean on Portland to sort of come along for the ride, as you say, and the fact that they play with good pace at home. You look at their home game log, over in 10 of the last 11, over in 8 straight against this number with a 102 pace, and the games have averaged 247. So it's not a ton of possessions, but the free throw rate that you often see when you get Avdia out there will lead to that higher scoring stuff. And the defense has been worse with him. 119 defensive rating the last 6 with him. And the key here is Charlotte. Why I like them at just -3 is it's a nice bounce back spot after the double letdown I talked to you about. And it's tried to steer you off the Heat 2 games ago, because after beating the Celtics, it's like, I don't know, I think Charlotte might let down. And then they had another bad performance there against Phoenix, who can really put the clamps down. But the Blazers are the worst corner 3-point defense in the league the last 10 games. They've not been good against the 3 all year. And now you're facing this high volume 3-point shooting team. Blazers, by the way, have lost 11 of their last 13 against playoff teams. And the only exceptions were Philly at the end of their road trip and Phoenix with half the starting lineup out. So I don't know if they can hang with Charlotte, but I think Charlotte is going to light up the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think Charlotte 2.5 is still pretty live there. I know there's some guys back. Mainly Denny is back for this squad, so they will have like Denny and Drew and Jeremy Grant. And I guess that does just leave me like the over a bit more as well. I still, like I said, still think Charlotte's live. It's coming to the end of the road trip for them. Once you hit the Pacific Ocean out there almost in Portland, then I mean, I know they're not on the ocean, but you get my point. They're as far west as you can get at this point. So I think if you're worried at all about Charlotte being able to sort of handle business, well, they've still been like basically the number 1 offensive rated team over the last 6 or 7. And Portland, with all those guys out there, their defense really still just isn't improved. Been in the bottom 10 here. Bottom 6 in the last 10 games as well. So let's get to the Bucks and Suns. Not that it's like going to be super exciting, because I wouldn't expect that many points in a game that I think is still at about a 214.5 total. Giannis playing 26 minutes, it seems like, at this point. And he helped in the one game that they've won here in their last 5. That was against Utah, who was, I'll just leave it at that. That was against Utah, right? And that was with Giannis against Utah. So now you're back here talking about a Suns team that has not skipped a beat. Like Dylan Brooks going down, all these injuries, it's not great for the Suns' positioning in the playoffs. It's pretty great for Jordan Knott's Coach of the Year nominee there, nomination and potential win, because of the fact that like they have not missed a beat. Beating Charlotte was very, very impressive in their last game by 12 in that game. Really handled business. Still no Mark Williams. Still no Dylan Brooks. Don't underestimate no Jordan Goodwin off of the bench here, as you just continue to try to find scoring. And at least that's a guy that can get putbacks on offense and hit a corner 3 for you. And it's not the same. Like Oso Ighodaro, no shade, is just there's no offensive game there. You're really clutching at straws for guys to score if Book is not hitting every single shot. And he's played well enough over the last couple games as well that there's still no stopper for him on the other side. So Giannis also, it would be the stopper. Like you might be like, oh, well, Giannis is back, so the defense is going to be better, because it was when he was around. It's not the same situation anymore, right? With Giannis out here, it's not the same Giannis right now. He's a dude who, if you actually watch the games, is not trying to get into the paint and potentially upset his strained calf or whatever part of his leg that he just doesn't want to get into trouble by going into the lane. And he's passed out of things a lot. Most of his points have come on just like one-on-one sort of fast break before the other team can get back. really was trying to see in his minutes if there was anything to say that like this is the Giannis who's going for it, and it is not at all. So this spread is still off to me because Giannis is in. You've got Grayson Allen questionable, which again, he's missed the 3 of these last 5 games, and they're still handling business against teams, including like the Lakers here, one of the games that they played since they've come back. So I think this is just a Suns team that's being somewhat disrespected by this line. They are on the road, but there's nothing to stop me from liking what they've been doing on defense more than anything the Bucks have shown me with Giannis or without him.
Phoenix, when Booker was out, yeah, they were in danger of getting blown out, and they were one of the worst offenses. And now they're kind of back to where they were, which was the best team in the league against the spread. And I mean, at least approaching that. So, and Book is back. Book is running the show. No Dylan Brooks, of course. So I mean, I'm going with the dimes here, trying to kind of think a step ahead in terms of the Bucks have been burned by him shooting the ball a lot. He's averaged 29. He's also averaged 7 dimes his last 5 against Milwaukee, and that predictable drop D. And they're allowing a ton of spot ups, right? 5th worst spot up D in the league all year. The Bucks, 2nd most 3-point attempts in the last 15. And Book is not a high volume 3-point shooter, but the Suns are as a team. So I think we can assume he's going to run some pick and roll, and then he's going to spray the ball around. And we're talking 12 potential assists the last 2 games. Only realized 4 of those against the Pels. Then he realizes 10 of them against Charlotte. And I mean, they're just going to continue to be there. He's going to have these high value front court touches where he is in the action, where he's creating points off the assists, averages a solid 34 PA with 32% usage when Dylan Brooks has been out this year. Of course, Brooks is still out, along with a few of the other guys you just mentioned that might not play. And Book, coming back and really breathing some life back into this offense is going to run the show.
Yeah, I like it all for Book in this one. Again, like there's really no wing defense for this Bucks squad. I guess we'll see if Ousmane Dieng can help a little bit, because I don't want to disrespect necessarily his athleticism, but still, yeah, there's nothing anchoring this Bucks defense on the wing or up top at the point of attack in any way to worry about Devin Booker. I suppose I don't want to disrespect Ryan Rollins either. I know he does give it all every time he's out there. Don't really feel like he's about to shut down Devin Booker, it's been a weird season for him too. And it's almost just like we're not realizing how good Devin Booker truly is when we've appreciated him in the past with guys around him. Well, he's doing it things all by himself at this point. I think the assists at this number, it's going to go up too. So let me get the boards for Brandon Miller. Dude's been going in on the rebounds. I love this number at 4.5, but I just don't know that we're going to see that again until he just has like a couple bad games in a row, because his rebound chances have also been up there over the last like 6 games, getting over this most of the time. Missed a couple with 5 rebound games. Those were a couple blowouts for the Hornets. You kind of mentioned, and we both talked about how we do think that Portland can hang for a bit on offense with the weapons that they're bringing back, which has been fast paced more than anything. Well, more possessions, right? And I still think we're talking about Brandon Miller being out there in a real game, and that's kind of the key here too. Is like this number should probably be about 5, and this like probably is fair essentially. But I would say that's fair against like more of a neutral team. And when you speed up the way that Portland speeds you up, still the 4th fastest pace in the league, which is why they're allowing the 4th most rebounding opportunities to opponents overall. That rebound chances are super high when you play against them, similar to like the Heat, who actually are better on defense than the Blazers and are still giving up a bunch of boards, just because the pace is something that needs to be taken into consideration so much. So this is a situation for Miller where he hasn't always been playing the fastest paced teams and hasn't been getting the full minutes consistently, and is still topping this with the proper amount of rebound chances up at about 11.5 or so.
Yeah, we think Miles Bridges will be the primary matchup for Avdia too, right? So I mean, then that leaves him open on the weak side to come and clean it up if he gets a miss there. Hawks, yeah, like we said, they've been hot. CJ McCollum's been a big reason why. And this is a nice rest spot for a veteran here. 4th game in 9 nights, 4th game of the entire month of March. So on 2 days rest now, and his splits this year, he spiked to 22.3 and 4.8 dimes with a 128 offensive rating on 2 days rest. Last year was crazy. He averaged 28.5 points a game on 2 days rest. So he needs that extra day. I mean, he doesn't need it. He's been getting this actually 4 times in a row, whatever his prop has been. I'm surprised it's not lifted more here, because Dallas is nothing special defensively. In fact, they struggle in some of the key areas here in terms of like letting you get to the rim and mid-range and corner threes. And maybe they've been lucky on above the break threes lately. They have struggled with quick guards all year, guards who can change pace. They don't have that traditional point of attack defender really at all. And I mean, Kuminga might still be out, which leave a little more usage, but I mean, he's done it with 2 with Kuminga in there and 2 without. It's not really a huge factor. The last 2, though, he's really been creating a lot, tied with Jalen Johnson at 11 potential assists per game to lead this team. And yeah, like we said, Dallas can certainly be had in multiple ways on defense.
Definitely. I mean, they might be able to hang on offense. Like I said, I still think an over is live in this game. Like they might be hanging for a while on offense, but when push comes to shove, too, like in the event that this game is at all close, and CJ McCollum needs to be out there for a few more minutes, he will be. He's clearly that level of important, specifically to their offense, and seeing a little bit of a hit taken for guys like Nah in the offensive usage for them because of CJ being out there and touching the ball so much. But this man's also getting a ton of potential assists, man. Okongwu is averaging more than 8 a game over his last 5. And I mean, yeah, you want to talk about easy opponents again, like it's sort of a situation where it's just another team that's trying to lose. So yeah, all the opponents they've been playing, like I talked about earlier when I was talking about the Hawks playing the Wizards and a Blazers team without too many guys available, etc. Like that's another sort of, I think that's just a replication of what's going to happen here. That those are just great use cases for this situation where the Mavs are giving up the 4th most assists in general. They're giving up the 2nd most assists and potential assists to the center position. The dribble handoff, something that they're super susceptible to, because once you get ahead of steam going to the rim against this squad, there's just nobody there to really protect it. Even in Gafford's like 17 minutes, I guess, that he's seeing at this point. Dwight Powell out there as well. But still, again, this is like a situation where the dribble handoff is a really big play for him. He's playing a lot in the high post and kicking out to the wing and the baseline. Really, he's really good corner 3-point shooter too. Considered that stuff because we probably will see a bit of drop defense from Dallas. But I don't know. Jason Kidd's weird on defense. Sometimes he will just sort of like target a guy being like, you're not going to be getting those easy shots. I've seen tape of you hitting threes against guys, so we know how to play that. Like, to his credit, good defensive coach in that way. But there's no way to really stop a dribble handoff when someone's just getting full steam going to the basket off of that. And that's been the bulk of them. He's actually run pretty cold on the assists here as of late, not getting quite as many as you would think off of the assists, but the potentials. But with the potentials up at, like I said, more than 8 per game, I think this is another good spot at plus money for him.
Yeah, maybe that's why neither of us went with Alexander Walker, despite the bad corner 3 defenses. Like, maybe that's the focus point for Jason Kidd. But
right.
I mean, that'll just open things up for Okongwu, who's going to operate a lot more from the nail and the top of the key.
Yeah, that's where I see him playing a little bit more in this game, to your point. So that is all the time we have for you guys in this one. But make sure you are subscribed to that channel. Coming back the rest of this week. Got some pretty big slates this week, again, as we kind of come down to the end of the season here. So hope to see y'all there. And until we see you next, happy betting.